Shubor naga Khlem jong nongsan Hima.
Menteri rangba kejela Conrad kongkel sangma hagasngi balang jong katayo ulaong bakakinhon menteri hagajingelang jongka kamshim la Ïakren Halor ka baha thungkam lani ka reservation policy mat ka Ïakren kalong Beit thik tang Halor ka roster system uli atho baki menteri kilayo ya ka Jingpynrung bat ka Jingpynrung hagabaya day bat ka roster system wala Khlem batay syai ka bakumno kata ka Jingpynrung kalong henry ulaong bahaki kindiat sngi an sa pentip syabaro Halor kani hagabaya day bat ka Jingdawa jong ka seng voice of the people's party ban pensange shwa ya ka Jingpynrung kam kat ba empat penbet khma ya ka reservation policy Conrad ulaong baka Jingpynrung kam kadai ka ba Ïaid Beit ha kitna trekam ki berada penkre ya ka roster system Halor ka Jingdawa bade ban pentrekam ya ka roster system syakman bat ban Ïaid na do ki snem ki bala leit no Conrad ulaong penban bakam don satya kata ka Jingkeli la an pentrekam na do menshwa lani na do menta ya ka roster system bat ka Jingpynrung kam ha kitna kan Ïaid Beit Shisho Conrad sangma ulaong babenta ka sngi la peni ka presentation hakabayade bat ka roster system bat ka reservation policy bat hadin ka jingpat benya nakaliang ka kinhon menteri kala penpau ka jinghon bat kala donru ka jingpen Beit hang ni hang tai bala syai ka sngi ka khat pratrik kan don ka jingpen ka jo ka presentation shikid khot jong ka sarkar MDA 2 bat ka khat kandai trik pat an peni sya baro kinong mi khman ha ka jing kendo lang jong baro ki sengsan perthai bat hadin ke Ïakren bat baro ki bedon benta kan sadon ke lang bat ki seng bhalang ki nongelam niam ki kinhon tremon ngobha bat ki wei
The recruitment process wherever the roster systems are ready, the recruitment is going ahead. There's no problem with that. And as I said, wherever and I said, we are at the same time we're discussing with everybody. Once the presentation is given, I'm sure that all of you will also, once you see the presentation, you will understand what it is, and I'm sure that you will also appreciate how we're going to move forward.
No, my point is, since May 2022, when the High Court order came out, it has asked the government to stall all recruitment process till a roster is put in place. So in that case, there are many youths who
Well, this was something. So that was something that obviously was a court order, so we had to follow that aspect. This is something that was way beyond our control or our our thing. So we had to go by the court order, and that's a situation that we have to, I guess, adjust and it will work in those given circumstances. So yes, there have been certain individuals who may have been affected, but at this point in time, there's nothing much we can do about that because it was a court order and we have to follow it.
So there's a lot of demand. The government needs.
How will the government deal with the demand of a political party saying all recruitment process should be stopped now until a
Well, it will lead to more delay then.
until a reservation policy is reviewed?
No, as I said, we are working on the roster, and the roster system, as per the court order, as soon as it is out for certain whichever departments and whichever post, the recruitment is continuing.
So there's a lot of demand for the government to implement this roster system prospectively but not retrospective. What is the mind of your
So,
government?
as I had mentioned to you, there is nothing called retrospect or prospect. A roster is a continuous process and the posts keep filling up. When we show the presentation to you, as I said, you will understand that. So, if we have already waited for some time, so allow us to complete the process in a proper manner.
So talking about the recruitment of the age relaxation, because we've seen the government taking note of such issues when people have already exceeded their age. You've made relaxation for teachers, if you remember. So similarly, why not, if it can be done, because people are going to come forward and
No, those were relaxations we've made as a rule. So that is not a one-time thing. So we have made a relaxation for teachers as a rule, saying that from now on it's going to be relaxed from this age to this age. For police, not for police, but for other also government servants, government posts also, we have again done the same thing. So therefore, those are done from a policy point of view for as a permanent measure. What you're mentioning is a situation that was there, and in those situations, the things happened. Like for example, in COVID also, some things were there. We could not do the process, so we cannot simply based on situations like this, we cannot simply come out with a policy that is going to be there.
But the government has the power, so can't you bend the
No,
rules?
I understand. I think if government starts bending the rules for everything, I think there will not be any policy. So there are certain areas we have to draw the line. We have to go by the system. If we start doing this, then tomorrow, what is there to stop somebody from saying that, well, there was too much of rain, so that we could not come in and we lost 2 months, so can you extend it for 2 months again? Government has to follow certain systems, certain rules. We understand the inconvenience that was caused. It is nothing that was not within our reach and not within our control, and we had to follow the court orders.
Stated that the problem is not with the roster system, but it is with the reservation policy, and that is why they are demanding for immediate review of the policies. Have your reaction to that?
As of now, the discussion that we have called for is regarding the roster system. So we are sticking to the roster system as of now. So we want to clarify on that and decide on how we should move forward first.
What about will it be the same or will it?
As I said, it's a continuation process. It's a continuous process, and hence it goes on. Recruitment is a process that goes on. Everything that happens, is a continuous process, and hence once we give the presentation and once you see the details and once you see how things are, I'm sure that you also will understand, and based on that we'll move forward. So what has happened in the past obviously adds up to how things are now. But as I said, the way the system is, it's continuous, and therefore there's no question of, I've mentioned it in the past also, there's no question of retrospect or prospect. It's a continuous process.
But the same political party has threatened to intensify their agitation, stating that the reservation policy in its present form is not proportionate. What do you have to say?
Yeah, as I said, we have not discussed on the reservation policy, and this is something that has been not in the agenda that is coming up in the next few days. Right now, we are talking about the roster system, and we're sticking to that as of now. I cannot give you details of that because we have to give the presentation to everybody. But as I said, I have mentioned it earlier also, that roster and recruitment is a continuous process. And after seeing the details of how a roster works and how the system will follow in the future and how the system has been in the past, as I said, detailed presentation was given, and all the cabinet colleagues were very satisfied after seeing the presentation. And the presentation was based on all facts and figures, looking at the reservation policy and looking at the complexities of roster system, and accordingly, as I said, a presentation was made. As we go along in the next day or 2 days, I think the press also will be briefing them most probably day after tomorrow, after the all-party meeting takes place, and I think you'll be getting a clear picture by then.
One community is saying that the roster is in favor of only one particular community. How will you address this issue?
No, that's what I'm saying. So once I give the presentation to you, and once you see the presentation, you will see we have gone through it. We have given the presentation to them. The recruitment process has gone in the past, and based on that, we have a system. We have seen how it is recruitment has taken place, and therefore that's a continuous process, and it will continue now in the future. Once, as I said, you see the presentation, you will understand what I mean.